I am here, okay? I am here. I'm just waiting for the ads to be done so that we don't get interrupted. It's true, I'm peeping you. I'm looking right at you. Let me know if that level is good. Watashi wa kita! Etc. Other weeby shit, you know. The music right now is Jokabi. Jokabi. But it's a Zelda remix, I think. Great. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Sunday Afternoon Dooger. Always on time. Always on time. I'm on time every Sunday. What are you talking about? Stop looking at me. I come to you with a humble offering. Yet another weird store-bought latte situation. And we're going to see if it tastes exactly the same as all of the other ones. It's a conspiracy now. They're all the same. I'm almost positive. So we're just going to... This one has different info on it, though. Okay? So this one says that it is Rainforest Alliance certified. The other ones have not said that. It also gives you Love Island prizes. Pros and cons, you know? We're going to find out together. I'm opening it. Okay, so far, visually looks identical. Smell test. Smells identical. Smells exactly the same. The price. So it was a meal deal option. And on its own, it was £1.19, I think. So far our most expensive one. Okay. It's the same. It's the same. Tastes the same. Tastes the same. Look, it might be different, but it tastes the same. So why bother? Just buy the 70-cent thing, you know? Oh, goodness. Who cares? It's fine. I'm in an anime today. It's all right. This one came with a little lid with a lippy. So, there's also that. But the Love Island prizes. I know. How do we get them? Scan for a chance to win. It doesn't say what sorts of things you can win. It doesn't say. Just daily Love Island prizes is all that it says. But the rainforest, you're right. The rainforest and a little plastic lippy. Maybe, I don't know. At the end of the day, I bought another plastic piece of shit with the exact same tasting coffee in it. But it did say that it's rainforest certified. So, I don't know. Did they cancel each other out? Maybe. Hector said the same thing. Maybe. That's up to you. That's between you and your own morality. Yes, it even says that. It says No purchase is necessary, although entry via purchase is accepted. Which I don't know if they mean for me to read it this way, but it definitely sounds like you can just scan this at the store and then put it back. Right? Just pick it up off the shelf, scan it on your phone, and then put that bitch back, right? Like, you're paying extra for middle class vibes, maybe. What have I become? Little, I'm sorry. Aldi, I'm sorry. Anywho, in my look, you know, Dodger Coffee sells like pretty high quality coffee. Our coffee is not like super cheap coffee. I'm fine with paying, you know, a decent amount of money for a really good cup of coffee. I wanted this to taste different. Is all. I'm fine with paying more for it. But it tastes the same. Maybe it's just all the milk and sugar in these that makes them all taste identical. You know what it just made me think of? So one of the first episodes of Brooklyn Nine-Nine, they introduce a character called the Vulture, and he works in major crimes. And basically, if the NYPD isn't able to like solve a case quick enough, major crimes gets called in to like finish it, right? So they call him the Vulture because he just like swoops in when they've almost solved a case, and then he like finishes off and takes all the credit, right? Nine. Somebody referred to Brooklyn Nine-Nine as my favorite propaganda product. It made me laugh. So I think about that all the time now too. Anyways, but there's a line in there where one of the characters is like, I can't believe you like swooped in and solved my case when it was 98% done. And he goes, yeah, but the last 2% is the most important. That's why they leave it in the milk. And everyone's like, what? And I think about that all the time. Almost every time I buy milk, I hear that in my head. It makes no fucking sense. Anywho. Yeah, it's very good. They really lean into him, like, just saying weird shit. Like, the longer the show goes on. Anyways, how are all of you doing? Super good, I hope. Welcome to Sunday afternoon Dooger. I can't remember if I told you guys this already yet. I'm probably gonna go to America for a couple weeks. It's kind of a it hasn't been like a super planned thing. But yeah, I haven't been doing super great. And I was talking with my mom, and she's also not doing super great. And so I was like, maybe I'll just go visit my mom, you know? And I went to Sam, and I was like, would it be too quick if I literally went like next week? And he was like, No, you could go, you just go whenever you want. So I'm trying to figure out when is going to be best for me to go, because I've been getting like brand deal offers and stuff. And I'd like to take those if I can, but I do want to make sure that I take the time to go out there and maybe spend my birthday out there. So yeah, I think it'll be nice. And Clark really wants to go. American tour for fun? What do you mean? I'm gonna go to Oregon and stay in Oregon. Go where my mommy is and then be like, great, I'm staying here until I feel better. No! The middle class lid betrayed me. Unbelievable. What do we got? Okay, one sec. Ugh. That was very satisfying. Just put the toilet paper like right up against the rim and the entire spill just soaked in and just vanished. I love that. No! Okay, you know what? Goodbye. Goodbye, lid. I thought that you were maybe why this cost a little bit extra, but now I don't think so. Now I don't think so. Although this is way more precarious. Just an open thing. Just an open thing. Pour it in a mug. If we had a clean mug in this house, I would. Sometimes things that are expensive are worse. A classic line. No, I mean, you know, this comes in waves, and it's very normal when you move to another place. I'm just like, you know, going through waves of feeling very lonely, just really sad. You know, I'm living on the farm with Sam's family, and I love them, and they're very sweet to me, but they're not my family, and it just doesn't feel the same, you know? So, you know, all my friends are far away playing Conan while I have to be at home with no internet. It's, you know, like, Conan is not one of the things that, like, started this, but, you know, just for examples. So, yeah, it just gets rough sometimes. Sometimes your brain just gets to a point where you're like, I'm not doing good, dude. So, yeah, and I was talking with my mom, and I was like, I just feel really fucking lonely. I just feel really isolated sometimes because, you know, I spend the majority of my time with Clark. And as many of you know, Terry's mom, my auntie, died. And she was my mom's best friend. So my mom was like, yeah, you know, I've been really lonely too. I don't have, you know, my person that I used to do everything with is gone now, you know. So yeah. So it turned into a convo where I was like, I should be out there. It would be good for me, but it would also be good for her, you know? This was a while ago that happened, but you know, recent enough that you know, Terry's whole family and my mom and everybody are still like sort of picking up the pieces, you know. Are they working on getting better internet there? Where? At the farm? Yes. Um yeah, that's all mostly done. Probably if I wind up leaving for a couple weeks and doing streams from Oregon, which my parents have great internet, so that should be fine. Um then yeah, probably by the time I get back, it'll all basically be set up. Yeah, I would have to stream later in the day. Otherwise, I'm leaving my kid with my parents for 5 hours, you know, every day while I'm out there, which kind of defeats the purpose. So I'll just spend my days with my family out there, you know. Um, I'll keep my schedule as much as I can, but you know, if I have opportunities to like go see Terry for a couple of days, go see my sister for a couple of days, I won't stream when I do that. So I'll just try to keep you guys updated, but yeah, once I have a better idea of like how long I'll be out there and stuff. How often do you go over there at the moment? I mean, when we moved here, COVID happened. So that was a couple of years that I didn't see them. Um, and then I'm seeing them about twice a year. It feels like is how it's, you know, starting to average out. Ideally, you know, one day once everything is you know, normalized a bit. Um my mom would love to visit once a year, and then we would love to visit a couple of times a year. So, like this year we went out in February when my kid had her half-term break. Um we went out in February and saw them, uh and then we plan to go out there in October. No, it's not booked yet, but it is probably going to be like a I'm just going to go. You know, sort of situation. I would say I'll probably be here all week. Um and then uh either leave over the weekend or beginning of next week. Which I haven't told my mom. She's going to watch this later and be like, I had said to her, like, hey, if we're financially able to do it, could I come visit? And she said, of course. But I haven't been like, great, I'm coming next week. I don't think she'll mind. But no, she'll be elated. She would be so happy. Make it a surprise. It's too late. She watches my streams. So if I wanted it to be a surprise, I would have just not mentioned going to America at all this last week. Yeah, everybody say hi. Hi, Dodgers mom. Hi, Doog mom. I think it's so cute that your mom watches. Yeah. Sometimes I say things and I think to myself, I wonder what my mom's gonna think when she hears me say that. Oh my god, like she's the other day she was like, yeah, I've been watching your streams, it's been great. And I was like, I really hope you haven't been watching Gabio. And she goes, oh, but I have. It's like, no. Oh my gosh. I have almost like finalized art for Sunforged. It's so good. I'm so excited. I love it so much. Yes, somebody made Gabio fan art. Um, and they were in our chat like, hey, if I have fan art, where do I post it? I was not expecting. It's incredible. It's so good. It's in our Discord, but my brother and I are going forward with the Italian citizenship thing. We'll see how that goes. I don't know if there's I have no idea if there would be any reason for an issue with the fact that I'm like on a residency here or anything like that. But we're going to see. We're just going to fill out the paperwork and be like, is there an issue? I love that everyone made thirst trap characters, and you did too, but the other way. Mm-hmm. My favorite clips are the ones where I'm laughing. The voice mod has no idea what to do when I'm laughing. When I laugh, the the voice mod goes like it just garbles. It's so funny. It's so weird. Yeah, it's Gabio truly being the goblin that he is, you know. I was telling Sam about how I had this whole like side story interaction with Forlong. And I was like, yeah, it wasn't until after it was over, I think, that I found out that was Timac, and Timac found out that was me. Because pretty much everybody who has met me so far has been like, I don't know who the fuck this is. Yeah. I got revenge, as it should be. Really quickly, too. But it's okay. I found a new quest, like, almost immediately after. I mean, a goblin wasn't what I was originally trying to make. I was trying to make a mushroom person. But it was weird. And not in like a fun way, just in a weird way. Bree's Conam character is horrifying. I've heard that. I've heard that that's true. Yeah. I was like, I'm going to be a mushroom. And then we got a little ways in and went, no, never mind. I'll be a goblin instead. And when I took all the mushroom stuff off of the character, he was so beautiful underneath it all that we were like, great, we'll just keep this face. And Gabio was born. And that's it. That's how it all happened. But it's been fun. I never do this RP stuff with everybody. So it's been fun doing it. Keep the face and make his head max size. Every time I play, I just make the head a little bit bigger. I'm just surprised. Somebody did a handsome Squidward goof, which completely makes sense. Considering that we were trying to go for like cover of a romance novel character, I'm surprised no one's just like shittily cut out Gabio's face and put it on a romance cover yet. Is there somewhere with a list of all the Conan mods you're using? I believe that the list of mods is on Sam's Reddit. So the strip-in Reddit, I'm pretty sure, has the list. But it's a bunch. It's a ton. I was waiting for someone to take a photo of Fabio and color it green. That's also good. I'm waiting for a love interest to become known. That's true. The only person that I've really openly flirted with has been Thicket, and that's because it's my husband playing Thicket. Thicket is a fantastic name. Yeah, Thicc. Thicket. He's a dryad. I haven't. Bionicles? No, I haven't met Octo's character. Sam was telling me that, like, when he plays, there's a fuckload of people on the server. Like, people everywhere. And I was like, when I play, there's, like, maybe 10 people, you know? It's a very different atmosphere. I just don't run into people, really. Hopefully. So we did a friend zone with Joe on Friday, and that was fun. I told him if he ever wants to do that again, I would love to do that with him again. But because it's really just an excuse to like hang out with a friend for a couple hours and just shoot the shit, isn't it? But yeah, he had said that they were doing like a Red Dead Redemption thing, which I've never played Red Dead at all, so definitely haven't done Red Dead RP, right? And he was like, yeah, you should join, and it sounds so fun. But my immediate thought is like, timing wise though, like time wise, you know, like when is everyone gonna be playing this? Yeah, you want to think like, well, it's being like sort of headed up by a person in my time zone, so it shouldn't be too bad. But I know the truth. I know the truth. Yeah. Someone was asking if I play Gabio off stream. I can't. I come here to stream, and then the second my stream is done, I leave. And I can't play anything at our house. So, no, I can't. Sam and I were talking about that. He was like, it would be nice if like we had the internet set up over there so that, you know, you could put Clark to bed and then hop on and like play with people. I think that would probably be something that would help a lot with like, you know, the brain rats, like the shit that's going on right now. It's like, because something that's definitely contributing to you feeling so isolated is that like you can't even easily like get on and play a thing with anybody. You know, like the most that you can do is go in a Discord call, and you don't do that really, which is true. I'm not the sort of person that's just on Discord calls like hanging out with people a lot. I've never done that really like consistently. So yeah. So he was like, eventually, you know, you'll be able to like hop onto a computer and, you know, hang out with people and do whatever it is you'd like to do in the evenings if it's on the computer, you know. Friend, I feel that I'm on opposite sleep schedule. I don't see anyone. Yeah, dude. It's rough out here. Brett's like, this is the real reason that I run so many D&D games. Yeah, it's hard. Big hugs, Brett. It's rough. If like it truly does feel like in that sort of group of friends, if you sit and go, okay, I want to start taking better care of myself. I want to start like having a more, you know, normal quote unquote. I want to be awake during the day more. You know? It impacts how often you're able to hang out with people. So there's like a gain towards, you know, your respect for yourself and the way that you're taking care of yourself. But like, but then you feel like you're not getting as much like friend interaction. So it's like, okay, well, do I feel better? I don't know. It's hard. Yeah, there are a few people that I met at when we went to this Baldur's Gate thing. We went to this Baldur's Gate thing. There were a lot of people who were like either from the UK or from Europe somewhere. And I keep thinking to myself like I should try and like cultivate like some friendships with some of those people that I like got along with well, because they might, maybe it's not a guarantee, but they might have a schedule that's a bit closer to mine, at least, you know. Yeah, it's hard. And I know myself well enough to know that if it hits like midnight, 1 o'clock, my body's like, go to bed. Like, you're on the cusp now. You're about to start feeling like shit if you don't go to bed. And if the FOMO is bad enough, if I'm like, but I want to, like hang out with so and so, or I want to talk to so and so, like, oh, but Jeannie and Kristen and I are all trying to do a jigsaw puzzle and I want to just hang out just a little bit longer. I feel like shit. But I'm like, but I hung out with friends and it's fine, right? But then I can't just sleep as long as I want because I have a kid, so. New Uzumaki trailer, I haven't. Anyways, none of this is new, but people were asking about, because at the start of the stream I was talking about how I'm going to be going to America for a couple weeks, and that's part of the reason. Honestly, like since I moved here, I haven't had a birthday where I've been happy. That sounds so depressing, but every birthday it just makes me go like, man, my birthdays when I was back in America, I had, people that really wanted to like celebrate with me, and I just wind up sad. It's so silly. But part of me was like, oh my God, if I go to America now, I can spend my birthday with my parents. And that would be really nice. So birthdays can truly be like that. Yeah. Where are you going to be? Oregon. That's where my family is. Opposite side from you, Brett. I'm sorry. I haven't even celebrated since years before COVID. It's hard. Kidnap Jesse, move him to the farm. I don't think he'd like that at all. I have told him though, next time that he comes to England, he needs to come stay with us for a little bit, because every time he comes to England, he will not visit me. I have to come to London to like see him. He will not come to where I am. So I was like, next time, come to the farm, dude. Like, come on, dude. Party in the hen house. Oh my God, I saw a video of like this person's just absolutely massive. They basically built like a huge aviary for all of the birds on their farm. So it's like this gigantic run, like the size of a house, for chickens and peacocks and geese and like just all sorts of shit. Just everything running around in one big pen. And I sent it to Nancy and she was like, oh my God, it's beautiful. Bird MTV Cribs. Yeah, dude. Yeah, dude. So, for like a fun little side tangent, we had talked about ways to make this stream, the weekend stream, whether it happens on Saturday or Sunday, because sometimes we flippy flop, right? But making that more chat or subscriber or both centric. Um, and I've started to think of some things that I think could be like kind of goofy and fun. Basically, like sort of the standard streamery things that we don't do on our normal streams because I think they're really distracting. But would be fun on a stream where it's like, it's not about me. It's about you guys goofing, you know? It's about me telling dumb stories and you guys goofing around that as the framework, you know? So things that we've done in the past, right? Look, I've had a lot of good luck so far. Not luck. It's not luck. I've gotten some really good feedback from you guys that has helped a ton with shit. So I'm just going to run everything by you now. So things we've done in the past, giveaways, I think are really easy, right? Fortunately, there are some companies that literally are like, just let us know if you want codes to give away to people, which is amazing. Giveaways, when I'm able to do them, we've done clip shows and fan art, which I think are great to show off like community stuff. And in the past, we've played games as well, which is a little hard. It depends on like how long I'm able to go, like how long I'm able to stream on a weekend, you know? I think as Clarky gets older, it's going to be easier for me to be like, yeah, I'm just going to go a little longer. And then there can be, you know, like Jackbox and stuff, but I'm not going to promise that now. I'm just going to say for now that this is going to stay like mostly a chatty stream, you know? So goofy streamy shit that people do that we don't do that I think could be fun. Or shit that we can just ideas, right? The other day I played a playlist, an old playlist that I had made years ago called Burrito Suggestions. And it was songs that people had suggested for like a morning playlist. At some point, I guess I'd gone on Twitter or something and been like, hey, I'm looking for new songs, like chill stuff that I can play in the morning. And people suggested a bunch of songs and it was cute, right? Now that the VOD doesn't have, oh no, skip this. I hate this song. Now that the VOD doesn't have music in it, right, so that we don't get muted, we could do like use one of those bots that lets people suggest songs, and if the mods are down to do it, they can like vet whether or not a song is appropriate for stream. Do that sort of thing for like pre-show and stuff. The overlays that I talked about with you guys before, where like people who are currently chatting are like weird little animals on the bottom of the stream, shit like that. I think shit like that would be really funny. Yeah, just cute stuff. Here's a question. Feel free to be totally honest with me. If we swapped out, so our badges currently on the channel are Cat Gang characters, right? And there are a lot of years that should have badges that don't have them right now because we stopped coming up with characters and weren't sure what badges to put on there. If we swapped the badges out for something a bit more simple, and then put together a file that is like all of the like old, if we swapped them, all of the old badge pictures together for you guys to download if you want to have them or use them for something. Would you be upset about that? Just so that we're able to actually like give people different badges for different years, because currently there's no updated badges for like multiple years of anniversaries, you know. And I know occasionally people will be like, oh my gosh, the cat face changed, you know, and that's really cute. But it makes me sad that like we don't have current badges. People are at 9 years now, you know. Yeah. And again, you guys would have access to the badge faces. I would make it so you could download them and use them for whatever if you want. But yeah. I wish you could choose your badge. Um, you can. If it's a badge that you've gotten before, you can swap badges. See, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah. People who are like, but I'm almost to a new cat, you know, and that bums me out. But it also bums me out that, you know, I'll get messages occasionally where people are like, hey, I'm at like 8 years and the face is the same. I'm like, I know, dude. I'm sorry. Thank you, Rare Winden. I appreciate it. Can't you add new cat faces? This is what I'm saying. We would have to come up with all new, like, new characters, and we've tried. Danny's a busy bean. I've asked him to do things a few times, and it's just hard. He's, you know, he's hustling. And if we had something simpler, it would be easier to keep up with it. Anywho, I wanted to run that by you. If I can think of something fun to use the badges for, then we'll still use them. But different ones made by different artists for the variety. That could be cute. I don't know. Okay. Well, maybe we'll keep. Okay. So the current pitch is keep the cat faces, and then just say fuck it, they're not cat faces anymore, and just get badges made by whoever, any of my artist friends, of just characters, just Just stuff. Nick's also a busy bean. Nick is not in a position where I can be like, hey, can I just commission a bunch of shit from you? So 9-year Gabio. I just do characters because people have a choice to choose past faces. That's true. Yeah. The further in you get, the more faces you have to choose from. That's true. I miss Taigyo. Me too. I was about to say bitch me too, but that seemed a bit aggressive. From what I can see, you can't switch to older sub badges. I thought you could. I don't know you can't. Oh, well, that's not as cool. You can definitely do it with bit badges. Hmm. So, would it be better then to have the sub badges be like various different colors of like cat paw, say, for example, and then the bit badges be all the faces, and then you can swap to whatever face you want and have the cat paw of. The only thing that I don't like about that is that bits have to be paid for with money, like real money. So you would basically have to like pay for the face that you want, which I guess you're already doing with subscriptions, but you would have to give 1,000 bits in order to get a third badge. Yeah. That's overall, though, right? Like over time. I wish there could be channel point badges. Have they eliminated like how people used to be able to like earn bits? You can't earn bits anyway now, right? You have to buy them. Hold on. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I think we should have more options for channel points anyway, like just in general. I think on Sundays or Saturdays, whatever. It would be fun to have a bunch of like goofy shit you can do with channel points that's like only open on the weekends, you know? That kind of a thing. Maybe do a contest for people to draw more members. I don't want to do that. That sort of thing gets dicey really fast. Cuz like you're basically saying like I don't really want to like even if this isn't how you're thinking about it, um you're basically creating a situation where you get a bunch of just free art. Um and saying, but there's a contest. One of you gets a thing at the end, you know. Um, if this is, I don't feel Gucci about that. Call it an internship and you got yourself a deal. No. Art contests only feel fine in very specific circumstances. Yeah, I've thought before about doing a while back I was like, "Oh, it would be really fun to do um like some sort of a contest that's like, you know, draw the cat gang doing XYZ." But I really didn't know. I think I would just have to talk to a lot of artist friends to figure out like how do you run an art contest in a way where it doesn't feel like you're exploiting people, you know? I think a big part of it is what are you planning on using the art for? If it's like you get to design the character that I'm going to use in a thing, right? No, that's a thing that you as the company or person should be paying a person to do, right? Not running a contest for it. Um so I guess it depends on what is the what are you going to do with it? What's the end result, you know? Yeah. It's hard. I wouldn't want to do a thing and have the vibe be like, wow. You know, I can't believe Dodger doesn't want to pay artists. Like, no, I do. I love paying artists. Yeah, I think it if I was going to do a thing, it would have to not be something I was going to financially benefit from later. It would have to just be like a fun community thing, right? Like, if you want to do art, you know, whoever wants to will draw this, right? Sort of a thing. I wouldn't do it for anything but community participation. Yeah, I think that's the best way to do it. If it was like, a monthly like art challenge that was community themed. So say that like the art challenge for next month was like Gabio. And there was no prize. There was, you know, the most that might happen is just like showing off some of them on stream and being like, these were great, you know. In that situation, it's not a contest, right? It's because there isn't a winner. It's just look at all this fun, goofy shit we did as a community, right? Getting to draw Gabio is the prize. Cheers, guys. That could be fun, right? Can we get an animated series of the Cat Gang? Bro, when I tell you we've pitched Cat Gang stuff so many times in so many different flavors. The co-optional animated stuff was good. That was Julian's stuff. Julian's very talented. The Gabio stuff was good, but it made me forget that it was you doing the voice. I told you guys this last week, but it's funny, so I'm saying it again. My mod messaged me, Alex, and was like, hey, I think when you were setting up the new audio stuff, you made it so that your microphone is also not being picked up on the VOD because I don't hear you. And then followed up and was like, never mind, I've been informed you're using a voice changer. Sam said the part of it that is like truly uncanny, because he was like, it wouldn't be so bad if it was your normal way of speaking, but just in a different tone, right? But he was like, but that's not what it is. You're putting on a voice and then it's going through a voice changer, and the voice changer is an AI voice changer, so it's adjusting your inflections again. So it was like, it sounds nothing like you. Yeah, it's pretty funny. It's very silly. Ba, ba, ba. Hi, Summer. I know, dude. It sounds so fucked up. The program is literally called Voice Mod. And then the voice that I'm using is called Joe. I'm glad we pushed through. I get all the characters got wiped, and if you didn't have it saved as a preset, you had to like remake your character, which I didn't know. So when I finally got onto Conan on Friday, I had to remake Gabio, and I almost was like, you know what, fuck this, I'm closing Conan. I don't want to do this, but we pushed through, and I'm so glad that we did. Yeah, if it was me just talking normally, but then like with the Joe voice on. Hold on. Tell me if this works. Am I Gabio? Did it change me? No. God damn it. Voice mod, I really need you to like get your shit together.
Look at him. Look, he's cleaning up his coffee. What a good boy. Good job, buddy. Now he's gonna have a couple chocolate-covered coffee beans. Don't have too many, though. They'll give you the zoomies. Don't have too many.
Great. So you can hear me now, correct? I forget that if I close voice mod, you just can't hear me. It's very annoying. Okay.
do I sound like Gabio now? Now I'm a Gabio. Yes, fantastic. So maybe it's not as unsettling if I'm just talking normally, because I'm just talking normally now. But this is not how I talk when I'm being Gabio. I talk like this. If I'm being Gabio, I speak more like this, and I'm going on an adventure. And I feel like there's a huge difference there. You know?
So, that's the difference. That's the difference there. It got so much worse. You gotta read Dracula in that voice. Oh my god. When you went OOC in front of others, it was very much, oh, that's Dodger with the voice mod. I know that it sounds weird when it's just me just talking normally through a voice mod. Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's okay. This is it without, this is how Gabio talks, but without the voice mod, right? Hello, it's me, Gabio, doing things as Gabio, the most handsome goblin in the world. It's that, and then the voice mod on top of that. And it sounds so weird. When I watch it back, it sounds nothing like what I think it sounds like. It's a bit of Laszlo. It's a little bit of Laszlo, yeah. You know who does a perfect Laszlo voice? Is Joe. You should ask Joe to do his Matt Berry impression. It's very good. It's like when Sam does what's his name? The guy who played Alfred, Jesus. Alfred in the Batman Beyond movies. Batman Beyond? Dark Knight? The whatever. Fuck. Hold on. Michael Caine. Sam does an insane Michael Caine, I think. Is this the future of your voice games? No. Do you know how it's so much work on a voice changer to just swap? Like, it seems like it shouldn't be, but it's a lot of work to just like, and now I'm clicking a different voice, and now I'm clicking a different voice. No. I would love to try to do a game like that because I think it would be very fun. But I don't plan on doing that often. Yeah, but like, I mean, like you just saw, it's finicky, right? Sometimes you turn on a voice changer and it doesn't work. Oh, Gabio sticks around for a while. I mean, as long as the Conan server is going on. I wish that I could play from home. If I could play from home, I would just play offline as Gabio all the time. Imagine Ghost Trick with a different VO for missile. No, thank you. Yeah. Anyway, in the future. In the future, hopefully, I'll be able to do more RP stuff with people if it times out right. And also just in general, be able to like do stuff at night. I'm 5 Myrtles in on the Myrtle book. I skipped ahead to see what later Myrtles are like, and they were so intimidating. So I'm just doing the easy Myrtles that are at the beginning of the book. But my mother-in-law is like desperately trying. She has a like a historical book that she's reading because that's her shit. She loves deep history shit. She's like, I have to finish this book before I start on Myrtle. I was like, okay. And at first I said, I'm going to do the first puzzle and then I'll wait for you. But it's been a few days now. So every couple of days I do another one. And I had to admit to her, like, I've done 5 of them now. And she was like, no! Myrtle, like murder. Murdle. It's a daily logic murder puzzle. And the first 100 were turned into a book that you can get. And it's a very simple concept. And I can see how it's going to get really difficult as it gets more complicated. But yeah, it's very fun. I've seen those. We sold out super quick at my store. Yeah, I saw somebody made a video where they were like, hey, I just got this book and it's great and it's really fun. And you know, detective stuff, and it's very like, you know, we're only interested in facts here, sort of shit, where things are like phrased in a way to sort of throw you off. I love that sort of shit. So, yeah, so I got it for me, for my mother-in-law, and for my mom, because I think my mom would love it too. But yeah, I've done 5, and now I'm just sitting. I don't want to get too far ahead, but I also feel like Sam's mom would blast through these things. So I'm like, it might not be so bad for me to be ahead a little bit, you know? It's an Einstein logic puzzle. That's what they're called in my country. Yeah, I've seen this puzzle type before, but I don't know what they're called. So I'm willing to go with Einstein logic puzzle. Yeah, I'm going to be really straight up with her that I'm going to bring it with me and do a bunch of them while I'm in America. So oh, that sounds interesting, Voice Yonder. Yeah. There's an inclination for me to be like, I'm going to bring things to do on the plane. But I know that what I'm actually going to be doing on the plane is trying to keep a 5-year-old from losing her mind. That's what you do on a plane with the kid around that age, is desperately try to keep them occupied and sane and not ruining other people's day, right? So she's great. She's done really well on the last few planes she's been on, and they've been long flights. She does really well on them. Just, there's a certain point where she's like, we have got to be there soon, right? Surely we're nearly there. And I'm like, honey, it's been 2 hours of a 10-hour flight. And she's like, no, I'm going to die on this plane. So I know. It's hard being 5, dude. You just want to stand on everything and sing and, If I'm being totally honest with you, like, planes are loud enough that if she wants to, like, sing to herself, I'm not going to be like, honey, honey, no. It's fine. Someone can complain if they want. But things like that, I'm willing to be like, look, unless someone cares enough to be like, stop singing, go for it, kid. If it's keeping you sane and sitting, that is so much better than the alternative. Yeah, she's got her little headphone. I feel like every time we take a flight, we get like another thing that sort of helps. She's got little headphones now, and those are nice. I'm trying to think. I said that, but now I'm like, I'm trying to think what else we have that's been helping. Yeah, absolutely. Every flight has kids that are upset, and there are so many reasons to be upset on a plane. The classic, like, they're just saying what we're all thinking. Like, I feel like that is the vibe on a plane a lot of the time, right? It's like, me too, bitch. I'd be crying too. So if my kid feels a little bit better singing to herself, I feel like it's a pretty good alternative, Ugh. Yeah, we've tried the neck pillow thing with her. Pick one, scream or sing. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think the best flights that I've ever been on have been flights where it's like, there's not a whole lot of people on the plane. I'm basically by myself in a row. I have enough internet to read some fanfic, and I've got a blankie. And it's like, great. I could be on here for 20 hours and probably be fine. But most international flights between England and California or Oregon, really, are full. They're full up, and everyone's hot and miserable, and, I sang the entirety of Handel's Messiah on what my dad thought was an empty train. When we got off, an old man came up and thanked me for the performance. That's very cute. You know, it's one of those things where like Clark definitely deals with flights easier the more flights we go on. Um People will sometimes, like when you're looking for information on like, you know, how to make XYZ easier for your kid, sometimes people will have a really annoying answer and be like, just do it with them. And the more that you do it with them, the more they'll like figure out how it works. And knowing how it works and being familiar with it will decrease a lot of the anxiety that makes it harder for them to deal with it, right? Which is totally true. But if you're like a person that's trying to like be prepared and like helpful ahead of time, and like, it's a super annoying answer. It's a really annoying answer. And sometimes planes really be like that, or they're like, yeah, there's stuff you can do and there's stuff you can get to hopefully, you know, make them more comfortable and whatever. But like, a big part of kids having an easier time on a flight is getting used to flying. It's like, awesome. Thank you. That's so great. Cool. I love that. It's true long term, but it doesn't help for the first flight. Yeah. Our first flight with Clark, she was a baby still, you know. And we tried, oh my God, we tried to use the like built-in plane bassinet, and she just hated it and would not sleep. We were so like, oh yeah. You know, we're going to sit in the seats that have like the bassinet that clicks in. We're going to plop her in there and maybe she'll just sleep through the flight. Nah, not at all. Yeah, that's a thing that Clark and I do now too, is we get a big package of gummy bears, and as we're taking off and as we're descending, we just eat gummy bears. She loves it, but it helps with the pressure change. The thing that my mom and I used to do is you know, back in the day when there was no internet on planes and we didn't have cell phones. Oh my God. Anyways, sometimes I have to remind myself how far technology's come. There were no cell phones at the time. But my mom and I would go, because my mom is a super duper planner, so we'd get there like with 2 hours at least to kill before our flight, and we'd go into like one of the in-airport stores and pick out magazines, and she'd pick out a novel. She'd pick out like a mystery novel or something, and I'd pick, you know, like I'd grab like a Teen Beat or something silly. When I got older, it was always cooking magazines. I would always bring cooking magazines, but we'd grab stuff to read on the plane, and that's what we did the whole flight. But yeah, if you haven't flown with a kid before, I'm trying to think like what specifically I would say are like actual tips other than just fly with them, dude. Have something that they can eat that they like eating during takeoff, and kind of because of the pressure. If they're still a baby, give them milk on takeoff and on descent, so that they're sucking on something and it'll keep the pressure from hurting their ears. Um, bring snacks. They're probably not going to like the plain food, if we're being totally real. Bring stuff that you know that they like to eat. Again, this doesn't apply really for like a little baby, but if you have a little kid, they say that around 4 years old is when kids, when kids are starting to kind of conceptualize mortality a bit more. They become more scared of flying potentially. If they're gonna suddenly be worried about flying, it'll probably be around 4 years old. Somehow Clark has never been scared of flying. I'm very delighted. But it's apparently very common, even if your kid has flown a lot before then, for them to suddenly be like, holy shit, we're about to be really high in the air, Headphones, not on takeoff or descent, because it can make the pressure worse and it can hurt your ears. But when you're like actually up and good to go, just so that your kiddo isn't crying and in pain. Once you're like actually at elevation, have some comfy headphones for them. Look, if you're the sort of person that's like, I really don't want my kid watching screens a whole lot, I totally get it. For your sanity, for your sanity on a plane, have a it's okay on planes rule. Like, if you can like come to terms with that and be okay with that, it will help so much. Seriously, just like give them something to distract themselves from how long they have to sit, because it's rough, dude. A lot of kids are walking up and down the aisles with their parents. It's because they get antsy. They're so antsy. They don't want to sit there for 10 hours, dude. No one wants to sit there for 10 hours. But it's really hard to deal with when you're little. So things to distract them from how much time has gone by. It's really helpful. I saw somebody has like a bungee thing. I don't know how this isn't annoying to the seat in front of you, but she said she's never had any complaints. There's like a bungee thing that you can attach to planes, with the intention of like just resting your feet in it as like a footrest bungee. And my immediate thought was like, oh my God, I bet that would help a kid a lot so that they don't kick the back of a seat, because a lot of kids, that's their exact foot length is the seat, and that's why they kick the seat and push the seat so much, is because that their foot is just right there and they're not paying attention, right? They're not trying to be annoying. So I was like, I wonder if that would help, or if that would still be super annoying. Fuck the bungee thing 100%. You can feel it. Okay, got it. Hi, JP. Good to know. Good to know. Any advice for adults who have never flown before? Or is it basically the same advice as kiddos? Adults, one of the same bits of advice would be have something to chew when you're going up and when you're going down, just in case. I had one time on a descent in a plane, my ears got like the pressure hurt my ears so much that I was like sobbing. It was bad. It was really bad. That's never happened again. I've never had an issue like that again. It was just a one-off weird thing that happened when I was a little kid. But if you're chewing something, it just helps so much. Have something to drink. Bubble gum or just chewing gum helps a lot. Just be chewing or swallowing something, and it is basically a non-issue. If you're able to get, you don't have to get like the super expensive seats to have like the extra room, but like there are legroom seats. They are next to the emergency exits, so you have to like verbally agree, like in an emergency, I will try to help with the emergency exit, basically. But I think it's easier for people if you're not used to flights to have a little extra leg room. Even if somebody would look at you and be like, you don't need extra leg room, like me. But if you're not sure whether or not you're going to have like sort of a claustrophobic reaction to being in kind of a flying sardine can, you know, I think getting a legroom seat would help a lot, probably. Some people get motion sick on flights. You can get things like Dramamine to help with that. Food tastes different in the air. Food and drinks. So a fun thing that people will do sometimes is order a drink that they already know that they like, and taste it while they're on the plane and see if it tastes different. A lot of people drink champagne on planes because it tastes different on planes. It's, you know, just stuff like that. A lot of planes come with TVs now, especially long flights have little screens. So if you're feeling really antsy, they probably have a bunch of movies on there and things that you haven't seen before. So if you can bring some headphones that noise canceling is best, again, because there's always going to be a kid that's crying. But if you can get headphones that are more comfortable for you and you're able to just kind of like zone out and watch a thing, that's helpful. TB said that he had like a mini VR thing that he would put on because he was a nervous flyer. So anything to like kind of convince him that he was somewhere else was helpful, you know, which I thought was really interesting. Yes, turbulence is totally normal. It'll be alarming the first time you're on a plane and feel turbulence. I've been on planes since I was knee-high to a duck, so I'm very used to plane things. But I have been on planes with people who have never been on planes before, and the turbulence is always really alarming. It is very normal. It doesn't mean that you're going to crash. It's just the plane and the wind interacting with each other in a weird way, and it gets a little choppy for a second, but it does not mean that you're in danger. It does mean that if you're standing, you might trip a little. So they'll tell you like, hey, we're experiencing turbulence, or we're going to experience turbulence. Please sit down. It's, you know. Yeah, we would visit my aunt and uncle every year in Lake Tahoe. So it was a short flight, but every single year, every summer, we would go from Oregon to Lake Tahoe, California, every year. So yeah, I got very, very, very used to being on planes. And the older I've gotten, I've had to take longer and longer and longer flights. And now, dude, when I am on a flight that's only like an hour long, it's jarring for me. Like, that's it? We're done? A flight from California to England is about 10 hours. It depends. It can, depending on the flight and the wind and like all that shit. It's like between 9 and 11 hours. I once took a 30-minute flight and it's scary. They were like, all right, everybody, sit down, buckle up. Here's your safety information, and we're going. Thanks so much for flying with us. We're now on our descent. You're like, what happened? What a fever dream. How long was it from UK to Belgium? That wasn't a flight. I took a train because trains are the best, and I love trains. Because trains are excellent. So yeah, I took a train. I took the Channel, the English Channel tunnel train, the Eurostar, which was fun. You know what I did though? I don't think I told you guys this. I was having a full-on panic because the name, so two things happened, and I noticed both of them when we were about to go through passport security to get into Belgium. So I'm with Jesse and I'm looking at my stuff, and I suddenly look at him and I go, my name is wrong on the ticket. And he was like, what? I was like, it says Brooke Lawson on the ticket, which is not my legal name, right? I was like, because it was booked for me. And I was like, well, hopefully they don't care. And then we scooched a little bit further, and I looked at Jesse again and I was like, I don't have my residency permit. And he goes, is that a problem? And I was like, yeah, I'm supposed to always have it when I leave the country. And he was like, like Dodger. So we get through passport security. They literally are like, hi, have a nice time in Belgium, and just handed it back to me. And I was like, okay. And then I was like, all right, well, I got in. I'm really worried I'm going to have trouble getting back out again. I'm worried about trying to get back into England, because I think that's when they're going to be like, oh, it says here you're supposed to have a residency permit in order to be here and live here. Where is that? So I was like, I have to cross that bridge later. Like, all that I can do is message Sam and be like, hi, I might get detained. When I come back to England, they might detain me. So this is where my permit is. If you could have that on hand in case I need you to suddenly come to fucking St. Pancras with my permit, that would be great. And then messaging my like middleman go-between person for this Baldur's Gate event to be like, hi, can my name be changed on my ticket? Like, all I could do was like go to the necessary people and be like, hi, can these things happen, please? In the end, they couldn't change my name on the ticket. It was so cool. And they couldn't change my name on the ticket, and I still didn't have my permit. So when I was coming back to England, I was like, and if you'll recall, we missed our first train. So I was like, Jesse, if I get detained, it's been a really lovely trip with you. He was like, thanks, bud. And literally, we came back into the country. No one looked at my passport. No one looked at my ticket. They were just like, welcome back, everybody. It's like, okay. Trains are a different beast, dude. They're a whole different animal. I left the country. I fully left the country. Came back and they were like, sure. So, you know, I guess if I had, somehow taken a fancy year 3000 train from America to England, it would be different. But because it's Belgium, they were like, who's sneaking in here from Belgium? No one. I don't know. Train TSA, way more chill. Yeah. Anyway, I'm not going to make that mistake again, but I'm really glad I was not punished even once with how many fuck ups there were in that I was just never punished that whole trip, aside from missing the train, which is not a punishment. It's just, I was going to say a reward, which is not a punishment. It's just a reward for bad behavior on both Jesse and my part. punishment was the anxiety. For real. For real. I have never stimmed so much in front of Jesse. Ever. Ever. I have never done all of my anxiety tics in front of Jesse before, but they were all happening like at the same time. And he just had to be like, I'll figure it out. I can tell you're not doing good. I'm going to figure this out for us. Thank you. And he did. God bless. Yeah. And then when we were trying to wait for somebody to help us with the train that we missed, two different people walked up to me and tried to speak French to me. And I was like, I'm so sorry. It's one of those situations because I know a little French, but my brain was too gone, you know? I was not going to be able to conjure up a single French word. Not in that moment. Yeah, just je ne comprends pas. We're planning a move to the UK in a couple of years. We plan to go through France. And I'm like, I speak zero French aside from the one line from that song. If you are in, like, Paris, if you're in, like, a heavily trafficked place, there will be plenty of people. Assuming that the language you would want to speak with them is English, there will be plenty of people that can speak English with you. Easy peasy. Omelette du fromage. France is really great in regard to having people who speak English. I think France, personally, I think France gets a bad rap. I think that there is like a really big cultural difference in how French people interact with each other and with non-French speakers. That is not intended to be read as like bitchy. But culturally that's how I think a lot of English speakers like take their attitude. When I've gone to France, I have had so many really positive interactions with people. Whether I was speaking English or attempting bad French, in both situations, I had people who were very patient with me. I had a taxi driver try to teach me like the proper way to ask a question. Like I was trying to ask him a question. He was like, I know exactly what you're trying to ask. You want to ask it this way. And it was very helpful and very sweet. They're very curt, and there's nothing wrong with that, you know? Yes, that's also true. There are so many like options now for trying to interact with people, like technology options, you know, which is very helpful. Yeah, Germany was the same. Germany was like a bunch of really lovely people who really wanted to help. And as somebody was saying, they said, I think when people are out of their element and feeling vulnerable, they take what might be dry humor or brusqueness personally. I think that's totally true. If you feel like you're really like putting yourself out there to like talk to somebody to try and like figure a thing out or get help or something, you're looking to be comforted a little bit. And if you don't get that, you feel a little bit like, oh no, should I not have asked, you know? But there are so many places that you can go where when you ask a question, the answer you're going to get is literally just the answer to your question, you know, without any preamble or like highs and buys. It'll just be the answer, you know, and there's nothing wrong with that. You still got your answer. It's, you know, you just didn't also get the comfort of like, oh my gosh, are you from another country? Don't worry, I got you. You're going to want to take a right and then a left. Have a fantastic day. I hope you get where you're trying to go, right? Like you might literally just get go right and then go left, and that's fine. When I'm uncomfy, someone hold me, please. Yeah. I try to remind myself that in much the same way as if you are a parent who is looking for advice on how to make a thing easier for your kid, and the answer is like you just have to throw them into it and they'll learn, right? A lot of times if you are interested in learning other languages, what a lot of people will say is like, yeah, it helped. Obviously, repetition of vocab words and, you know, doing all of your drills and all of that sort of stuff. Yes, of course that's helpful. But the thing that's going to like make the biggest difference is just forcing yourself to talk to people. And that feels so vulnerable. It's like a huge hurdle that most of us have like a lot of trouble with. Anywho, thanks so much for hanging out with me, guys. I'm sorry I was an hour late. Sorry I was an hour late. I appreciate you all very much. It's over already? Yep. We only ever stream for a couple hours on the weekends. But I appreciate you guys very much. I will be back tomorrow. What are we doing tomorrow? I'm not sure yet. Tuesday we have a sponsored thing for a game called Toy something? Toy... Nope, not that. Nope, not that. Toy Tactics. For Toy Tactics. I'm probably gonna be heading out beginning of next week. So I think we're gonna stick through this whole week and then I'll take off. So I'll let you guys know when I decide that I'm leaving, but yeah. I'm going home. I'm gonna go to America for a couple weeks. Yeah, I'm very excited. So anyways, alrighty. Red Mozzie is a wholesome metalhead playing train sim. Fantastic. Let's look. Train sim, fantastic. Okay. Yes, I will send you over to them. But Foist, where is it? There it is. Robert, thank you for the 80 months. Bobby for the 30s, and Christian for the 55. Allie Rose for the 35. Rosa for the 84. Happy 7 years. Happy anniversary. Thank you very much, Rosa. Crimson Jockey, thank you for the 34. Greedo for the 45. Zero for the 76. Junebug Twitch for the 22. Tagalongs for the 47. Rare Winden for the 57. Sniden for the 14. Chiyuku for the gifted subs. Jack Moose for the 26. Wizard Styles for the 70. Dorlugas for the 71. Androlian for the 27. Trueheart for the 90. Oh Hi Atlas for the 3. Jolly Chloe for the 17. Avi for the gifted sub. Thank you. Blah of Stars for the 6. Wheelax for the 32. And Avi for more gifted subs. Thank you so much. If you were gifted a sub today, double check who gave it to you. Take the time to say thank you. It's very sweet. I'm going to send you over to Red Mozzie, who is playing Train Sim. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Okay? We'll figure out what we're going to play. Because tomorrow will be a game day. Tomorrow will be a game day. We talked about doing Oxenfree. I think there were a couple other games that we were maybe going to look at. So I'll double check. And I'll post our sort of predicted schedule for the week and figure out who our friend zone guest is going to be and stuff. Okay? Thank you so much, guys. Take care of yourselves. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.